Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has been killing it at the box office. Before this movie even came out, Paramount already announced that they are going to make a Sonic 3 and a Knuckles spin-off series on Paramount+. So knowing that we're getting a third movie coming, I of course have to think about what would I want to see in it. A couple of things. One, this will have spoilers to Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And two, a portion of this video is sponsored by Alienware. This is the Alienware X14 gaming laptop. Check this thing out. Not only does it have that signature Alienware design, look at how thin this is. Oh my gosh. This is literally the world's thinnest 14-inch laptop. This is a laptop that's super thin and easy to carry. I could pop it in a bag and take it with me anywhere, or I could just move around the house and use it anywhere I want. Oh, you weren't supposed to see that. It's so thin and light, I can literally take it anywhere. But don't let this thin size fool you. It has the power of a gaming computer. With that power, I'm easily able to log into Steam and play from my library of games, both retro and new, with ease. Solid state drive, 12th gen Intel Core processor, up to 32 gigs of memory, a graphics card with RTX supported ray tracing for over 150 games and apps, and it has NVIDIA deep learning super sampling, which gives your laptop a massive performance boost. That's awesome. And since I'm a content creator or influencer or whatever they're calling internet people these days, I can also use the power of the Alienware X14 gaming laptop to work on my videos. I personally love that all the ports are in the back. It almost feels like it has its own built-in dock. Also, the battery on this is super strong. It has up to 11 hours of video playback. So if you just want to sit around and binge a bunch of stuff, it's good for that too. If you're like me and you want a little bit of flexibility and just want to change your scenery up a little bit, just have a different place to game or work, it's cool to have a laptop this thin to be able to do that. Go anywhere you want to go, but still have the power that you need. And their latest laptop is a prime example of that. So check out the Alienware X14 gaming laptop for yourself. There's a link in the description. Really cool laptop. And again, I just can't get over how thin this is. Thank you so much, Alienware, for sponsoring this video. So the first thing is obvious. We're gonna get more Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. In the after credit scene of Sonic 2, we see that Shadow the Hedgehog exists in this world, so I would assume that would mean that Shadow the Hedgehog is gonna play a huge part in Sonic 3. Now, they gave us a few hints about Shadow in the after credits, finding him in a lab, saying that he's been there for, I believe, 50 years? Because in the games, he's from Robotnik's grandfather, something like that, right? I forget some Sonic lore, don't hate me. But the movies are always different from the game, so I'm curious what the movie backstory for Shadow will be. Obviously, he's gonna start out as a villain for Sonic. Maybe he'll even do some crimes, and people will assume that Sonic is doing it because for some reason people won't know the difference between a blue hedgehog and a black one. But will Shadow have some kind of redemption arc and become friends with Sonic? I almost wonder if they won't do that just because that might be too similar to Knuckles' arc. Maybe for the movie, Shadow is just a villain the entire time. Or they could pull a Loki where he's a villain to Sonic, but then he might team up with Sonic, but yet you still can't trust him, kind of like how Thor is with Loki. And just like Loki, Shadow the Hedgehog could have his own spin-off series on Paramount Plus that maybe dives more into his backstory. And of course, the question is, who is going to voice Shadow? I've heard Jason Momoa, I've heard The Rock, I've heard Keanu Reeves, but who do you want? So at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, we got Super Sonic, so I'm expecting a little bit more super to happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles still have the Master Emerald, which is actually made of all the Chaos Emeralds, so I would imagine that that power is going to be used again to bring Super Sonic into the next movie. It might be possible that Hypersonic shows up in this. Get a flashing hedgehog. But if Shadow is going to be in this movie, I could see that being a plot point, Shadow trying to get hold of the Master Emerald / Chaos Emeralds. So because of that, we could get a Super Shadow in this movie. And because Tails and Knuckles are obviously going to be a part of the next adventure, I think it'd be cool to see a super team up. We see Super Sonic, Super Knuckles, and even Super Tails. Have them all together, super style, going into the final battle. And if that happens, they better play Sonic Heroes in the background. Sonic Heroes! You know what, just for fun, do Super Tom and Super Maddie as well. Let's see Tom and Maddie running at Sonic super speed, all lit up. Give everybody the emerald power. Even though we're gonna get Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic 3, I still would like to see Metal Sonic show up. I just think now that we've been getting good designs of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, Metal Sonic just has such a cool design in the video games, so I think he would have an awesome design in the movies. You can either make him very close to how he looks in the games, or you can go all out, almost Terminator style Metal Sonic. Could you imagine a Metal Sonic like that? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Could you imagine Sonic having to go up against Shadow and Metal Sonic, having to basically fight a robotic version of Sonic and an evil version of Sonic as Sonic? That would be crazy. Or they could also go the route of Metal Sonic being so powerful that he's a problem for both Sonic and Shadow, and that might be the reason that they have to team up reluctantly. I am assuming that Robotnik would create him, which would make a lot of sense. If you can't beat the Hedgehog, make your own Hedgehog to beat the Hedgehog. Speaking of Robotnik, I really hope Dr. Robotnik returns. So in case you haven't heard, Jim Carrey has done a couple interviews recently that have kind of alluded to the fact that he might be retiring. He's kind of like, look, I have been in this film industry for decades, and I feel like I've done enough. I am enough. So I kind of understand that, but at the same time, man, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik just brings so much to the Sonic movies. He is the Joker to Sonic's Batman. So to have a Sonic movie without Robotnik, and specifically without Jim Carrey as Robotnik, you would feel lost. If the third movie does not do that well and he's not in it, that's gonna be the main thing that people are gonna criticize. Oh, this one's not as good because Jim Carrey's not in it as Robotnik. But if for some reason he's like, look, I'm done, then I'm hoping that some human villain takes his place. Maybe Agent Stone becomes the new villain, or maybe they get a new human villain altogether, maybe somebody from Gunn. If it's gonna just be CGI heroes versus CGI villains, then just make a CGI movie at that point. I'm excited for Shadow, but I do feel like some human component probably still needs to be there just to balance things. But ultimately, I want Jim Carrey to come back as Robotnik. And he said if they put him in like the actual Robotnik video game style suit, he would be down for that. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's what brings him back. If that's what brings Jim Carrey back and he got to put him in a fat suit, Sherman Clump this thing. I don't care. After 2 movies of CGI dudes, I think it only makes sense for a female character from the Sonic world to show up in this. And I mean this just for the sake of the story, not for any kind of fan fiction I'm trying to write. I'm sure people want Rouge the Bat for reasons. Amy Rose, of course, is the go-to answer. But I think if we get Amy Rose, we're probably gonna get more Sonic Boom Amy Rose, and probably not so much Big Ethel falling in love and chasing after Sonic like Ethel chases after Jughead. If there is any romance that decides to happen for Son Amy, I think it will be a mutual romance. I don't think it's gonna be just Amy falling in love with Sonic. I think Sonic's gonna see Amy and be like, what? Like, she's gonna be a badass. Like, just prepare yourself for that now. If Amy Rose gets added to this movie, she's going to be a kick-ass, badass character. Just accept that now. All my hedgehogs are independent, throw your gloves up at me. Who's gonna voice her? That's gonna be a celebrity. I mean, it could be anybody. It could literally be anyone from like freaking Zooey Deschanel to Tiffany Haddish. You don't know who could voice. Who's gonna voice Amy Rose? But if you were to ask me which female character to add, I think Princess Sally from the Sonic animated series. She's a freedom fighter. She has a nice rapport with Sonic in those cartoons. They kind of have like a moonlighting thing, will they, won't they thing, where they clearly like each other, but also they don't put up with each other's BS. Sally is quick to quip at Sonic just as much as she is to thank Sonic, and I like that dynamic, so I think that will play well in the movies. Plus, with Sally being a princess, and you already have this movie lore that's been going on with Longclaw and the Owls and the Echidna tribes, I feel like that storyline could easily have a place for royalty. And who else but Princess Sally? If you decide to do Amy Rose, because that probably makes the most sense, I think Sally is a good character to look at to be inspiration for the personality of Amy Rose in the movie. So if you remember in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, the little child that you could like take care of, they were basically the Tamagotchis of the Sonic world. Any movie executive looking at the child would be like, oh, that's our minions. That's our Stay Puft Mini Puffs. Chow has Porg's level of potential. I'm just seeing like shelves with Sonic 3 little plush Chow. That is so easy money. Just the merchandising alone would make sense to put Chow somehow in Sonic 3. And if you have Chow in Sonic 3, this would be an easy way to bring Chaos into the mix. Chaos is a mutated Chow, tries to get the Chaos Emeralds to become the perfect Chaos. I think we got to get off Earth for a little bit. The first part of the first Sonic movie gave us this cool recreation of a Sonic level. It looked like Green Hill Zone. And the second movie was good enough to put Sonic level type things in the movie, but they still happened on Earth. So we keep talking about these other planets. Even Tails mentioned that he came from another planet. What else is out there? Let's see. Because I think if there's any way that Sonic can get off of Earth and go to other planets, then you don't have to worry about the Earth restrictions. You can make planets that look straight up 100% like Sonic levels. Like, where's my Casino Zone planet? And if you start going into other worlds, it would be cool to see some other Sonic characters make cameos. Let's just be honest with ourselves. A lot of people know Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. A good number no Shadow, a good number no Amy Rose or Metal Sonic. But when you start getting to like Vector the Crocodile or Charmy the Bee or Espio the Chameleon, not everyone's there, all right? But if there was some way to show other worlds and show other characters on those worlds, you could just say generally in the movie, hey, these are other creatures from other worlds. Just generic creatures for the average movie-going audience, but deep cut references for hardcore Sonic fans. You could even have like an Avengers style thing where Sonic needs all the help he can get from the animal creatures from across the multiverse to come join him in the final battle, and you can just see all these rings open up and all these animal creatures coming out. And for many people that just might be like, oh cool, Sonic and his animal friends are gonna save the day. But someone else could be like, oh, that's Mighty the Armadillo, that's Ray the Flying Squirrel, that's Big the Cat. A good way to still give Sonic fans their Easter eggs without throwing too much on the average moviegoer, even though this might already be too much already. So we don't know that much about the backstory of Tom and Maddie. Like, we don't know how these two met. Get a flashback of them first meeting. Maybe it's during the 90s or Y2K era, so you can have fun with the clothing, give the humans something fun to do. But maybe they met because Tom was like the lead singer of a grunge band. Or maybe even Maddie was the leader of a band. See where I'm going with this? So Tom or Maddie lead a band, the other person goes to see the band, and the song that that band plays, follow me, set me free, live and learn. That could be a funny joke. You used to be in a band back in the day, and the music that they play is Crush 40 stuff. And then somehow that incorporates to reuniting with the band and playing the song again somewhere else in the movie. Or maybe if Tom or Maddie do something pretty awesome as a heroic thing in the movie, that song plays in the background. Jaleel White! We gotta get a Jaleel White cameo. I'm not gonna let this rest. Look, even if you don't have a Jaleel White cameo, just lie to me. Say that you called him and tried to put him in the movie, but he or his agent said he couldn't do it. Like, I need closure. Otherwise, I'm gonna pretend that you never tried, and I need you to try. Jaleel White, for many people, including myself, was the first voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. The first time we heard Sonic speak, I'm waiting, in that Jaleel White voice. I got the juice. Give me some chili dog. Come on, Sal. That's no good. Give him a cameo. Make him a supporting character for Gunn or something like that. There's gotta be something. Maybe he's an old classmate. Maddie's ex-boyfriend before she met Tom. Just put him in the movie. I need Jaleel White in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm gonna go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 regardless. I'm super excited for this movie, but I will hope that some of these things happen, and I definitely want Jaleel White to show up. The end.